Randip, great to have you here. It's great to meet here at Brand Innovators Miami. So to start, can you walk us through your role at Kenvue and how media data strategy fits into the broader marketing organization?
So my role at Kenvue obviously has expanded over the years, but I mainly lead the media data strategy for our global brands across the key global markets. So, for example, we have Neutrogena in many markets, Listerine, Tylenol, obviously in the US and Canada. So, making sure that the media investments, the data partnerships, the capabilities we work with power partners like Google, Amazon, and others is being utilized in the right fashion, to increase media ROI.
Definitely. And given your focus on media data strategy, I'd love to start with how you're seeing the role of data evolve in marketing today.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is quite a big evolution that we have seen over the years. So I would say, really, in my earlier years when we were doing reporting or dashboards or pulling up insights, right? We'd be sending it like to the directors or the VPs of media or merchandising and analytics, and they were looking at it and they were saying, okay, this has been more effective or not. Now I think with the advent of technologies, more tagging, better measurements, again, lot still to be done. I think the insights to activation to optimization to measurement has become a slightly more structured in terms of the industry right now, and data is playing a key role through this entire cycle. That to me is the biggest change that I've seen over the last 10 years.
Yeah, makes sense. And what are you seeing as kind of the biggest opportunities for brands that are truly data driven today?
I would say the biggest opportunities for the brands, I would say, are in three areas, right? First of all, about efficiency. So I think brands can get really more efficient with pretty much all of their investments, but starting with making sure that they're not reaching the same consumers, right, in different channels during the same period if they already know that consumer has converted or is a loyal consumer, or even maybe if they know that they're not going to be using their product. So getting more efficient with your media dollars, there's still more opportunities there. I would say big one, efficiency. The second one, I would say, the second E, I would say is effectiveness. So I would say when it comes to effectiveness, some channels are more primed for upper funnel, lower funnel for your brand and for your category. So just because there is a tendency with some of the wall gardens and channels, with marketers, the need, and I totally understand to be there, right, in some of the emerging social media channels and creative channels, but at the same time to think through, is that channel the most effective way for me, right? If I'm launching something new products, right? If I'm already have an existing product, if some other channel is better. So the effectiveness of those channels really differ, not just based on your particular business, but on your brand, your sub brand. So to think through that could really be helpful. And the other opportunity really, I think, is for marketers is really, use AI, I would say, right?
Yeah.
More with the intent and with more purpose, but for creative testing and for experimentation, but also for better, media investment strategy and, for measurement.
Totally. And as the volume of data grows, the real challenge is turning it into clear, confident decisions, of course, using
Yep.
AI for that. So, moving on, how do you simplify complex data to make it actionable for the marketing teams?
Yeah, I think the best thing you can do for the marketing team is that whenever you give a report, a dashboard, or a metric to the marketing teams, or for that matter, for any of the executive leadership teams, make sure you also share your hypothesis of why that is happening, why if something had gone up or gone down in terms of performance, but also providing a recommendation, just like a sidebar of insights and a column next to it of the recommendation is something really that helps the marketers to really see all the way through of how they're going to use it in the next cycle.
Right. And then from there, how do you align, the different stakeholders around that single source of truth when it comes to data, given you have to send it to so many different people?
Yeah, I think the first of all, definitely, success inspires more successful projects. So I would say, if a marketing experiment was successful, to actually create a brief kind of statement of what exactly the test was about, what was the total investment, what was the ROI, and then it becomes easier to actually have everyone around the same story of we tried this pilot with this particular, data source, right, on this particular channel. This was the ROI, and if we can scale this to other markets or brands or other environments, we can get similar, potentially similar results.
Right, right, of course. And the data landscape itself is also just evolving so rapidly.
Yes.
So, especially with the shifts and privacy and signal loss. I guess, what should marketers be doing now to prepare for more of a privacy first future?
Yeah, so definitely for a privacy first feature, I think really leaning more into some of the things that we talked about right now. Other industry conferences is leaning more into their first party data strategy, right? How can I collect more privacy safe environment on my brand side or on other properties? High quality first party data signals. I think really is going to be key. Whether you're a CPG or you're other industry verticals, it's really key to collect high quality first party signals. But the second thing is also how can I work with my agency partners, with others in the industry to really enhance those signals, right, in a privacy safe manner. Again, privacy safe
Of
is the
course.
key word there. And then C, to your question about privacy safe, I would say also when it comes to activation, is it something when you're working in a clean room environment with a partner like a Google and others, I would just making sure that they're working in a clean room environment where you can bring your data, maybe add combined with their data to still continue that privacy safe targeting options for your consumers.
Right, definitely. And alongside these changes, technology continues to reshape what's possible from automation to advanced analytics. So, as you're thinking about the future, what role do you see emerging technologies playing in media strategy over the next few years?
Yeah, I know that's a pretty loaded question, but emerging technologies, and obviously the one that comes to mind is AI, right? For everyone, all of us. I think AI is going to play a significant role in our creative process, in marketing strategy, in investments, in measurement, all through and through. There's a lot still need to be, evolved and experimented and kind of tried and tested. But I think overall, I think AI will be one of the biggest forces. The second thing I think would really be more around the evolution of CTV, the amount of on-device kind of viewing of video that's keep on increasing is a significant opportunity. Also, there's a lot of fragmentation in CTV as well right now. So I think there is significant opportunity to stitch together in terms of identity across the ecosystem and then using AI, right, to create the best possible experience, right? And not to use the usual cliche, but like, can we reach the consumer at the right time with the right message on the right
Right.
channel? And I think AI can play a big role there.
Right, absolutely. Well, Randip, this has been incredibly insightful. Really appreciate you sharing your perspective and exciting to see how the space continues to evolve.
Thank you for having me.